Yeah, but who gives a fuck about that? Thing about the Beach Boys is they were fucking beautiful. They were just aesthetic and angelic. Totally, totally. The more I look at them, the just angelic. The thing I like about Smile is I can't think of the name of it, but yeah, there's some like choir Gregorian style shit going on in the one song, and it's been that it sounds like angelic. It sounds heavenly. But there's just they had it good. I mean, there's you can't really detract from their fucking what they were because they were just so heavenly in the first place. I'm not the Beach Boys. Neither are you. They had what it took for, and timing is everything. And when you get older, you understand that. But timing was everything, and they just get it's a, you're dealing with fragile people. I have intellectual disabilities too, and I'm extremely fragile. Just like I'm a lot like Brian Wilson in that way. But it must have been rough for him because he had to go through the mill of it all and get used up, and it's their job to use like rolling down a tube of toothpaste just to the last drop. Maxwell House fucking bilk. Uh, and be like, okay, cool, thank you, man. That was good. I think that was good. That was about 5 years, 5, 7 years. Extreme money. We just fucking milled you. Okay, how you feel? You're like, well, I'm fucking wasted spiritually, mentally. Just, and yeah, you live in this good bubble. And if you stay in there too long, you start to wonder about life outside it. And it's like you're better in that bubble. I mean, but Dennis Wilson was a god when, especially, and he died kind of a god. He was godlike. That's everything a rock star should be. But the real unsung heroes of that are indeed all those. That was a good secret that went on for a long time. Nobody really knew that. But the Wrecking Crew, um, yeah, it was kind of creepy because when I first started with my band, we always used to, me and the drummer used to say to each other, we always wanted to get a job as like ghost musicians or session musicians, but especially the kind that did what the Wrecking Crew did. Although we didn't know who the Wrecking Crew were then, nobody did. But there was other things like it. Like you'd listen to metal music and like you think this guy's soloing, but that's not him. Shit like that, and you're like, really? You're like, yeah, there's a session guy. He did other work too. He did all these records. He did that. You're like, no shit, that is him. You're like, that's him, dude. Oh my god, that's not him playing that. I can't get over it. You're like, no, that's not him. He's great, but that's definitely not him. He'd be too great then, right? Yeah, I guess so. That's how it works. You make fine product, little diamonds you sell, and they all had it. Mike had it too. You know, that's all it was with that. Yeah, I was watching all the Charlie Brown movies they had on the ones that were done in the '60s. They really look like they were too. When I was watching, I'm like, this can't be real. I was watching Snoopy Come Home because I had never seen it. I thought I saw all of them, and sure enough, it was from like 1962, and that cool bebop, fucking Schultz shit, and then you see that all the vocals and all the music was done at Gold Star, and it's like, yeah, oh my god, it sounds like that. We don't have animation like that anymore. We don't have no Walt Disney's to come along and become. I just had a thought, Trump is the only thing close we got now to Walt Disney, really. I mean, in a lot of ways. Because, like, Walt Disney was just like, there's similarities. He'll be like, I want a Henry Ford, a place to live, and make it look like fucking Hansel and Gretel. Move my wife into there. Shit like that. But who really cares if, like, these days, it's not, it, those stigmas shouldn't be there anymore if that's what people are talking about. Like, whether or not this guy was gay or not, it's just a flavorful, trivial bit of Kenneth Anger type info. You'd be like, oh, that's interesting. He was really gay, huh? Or bi? You'd be like, yeah, I'm gay as a motherfucker. What did you think? It's too good to be true, right? Yeah, well, I knew him, and all he gave a fuck about was he was dirty. He was a he was a rascal. My friend Jim Morrison, he was a fucking rascal. He was a scamp. He was a tramp. That boxcar fucking jug of wine, fucking hobo shank. Jack Kerouac, fucking motherfucker. Heart beating in a hole. That's how I like my rock musicians. I wouldn't have them any other way. My Bryans, my Dennis's, my Jim Morrisons, they lived up to exactly everything I wanted them to be. Somehow, some way. I can talk with great authority about the Beach Boys, though. You don't understand that. I can talk with great authority about that. I spent all my life torturing my musical colleagues, my girlfriends and wives with ever never ending streams of harmonies from the Beach Boys that was included with the deal. My girlfriends immediately became experts on the Beach Boys as well. I met Mike Love. It was awesome. I I remember this. We're standing out by Proctors. We used to rehearse down on J Street by Proctors, and I see Renee talking to this older gentleman because Mike was he had, well, he's blonde, he's a bleach blonde, but he had his hair was real white, and he looked at, and I just could see, I'm like, that's an older man. So I ran down there and I'm like, Nay, who the fuck are you talking to? And this dude's holding my girlfriend's hand and shaking her hand and talking to her nice and being real loving. And as the closer I get, I realize he's really well dressed, and I could smell his cologne. I'm like 10 feet away. I'm like, who is this fucking guy? I come up, and then she's like, "Oh my God, it's so great to meet you. We love you." And he's like, "Thanks, Dal. Thank you, sweetheart." And it was Mike Love, and he walked right by me, and I was like, and then just as he's walking by, I seen his blue eyes and I seen his mustache, and I looked down at his bracelet, and she's like, "Oh my God, Daddy, look, that's fucking Mike Love." And I'm like, "Oh my God!" And I immediately looked to the marquee at Proctor's across the street, and it said the Beach Boys, and I'm like, what the fuck? And Danny from the Corvettes, we were down there because we heard he was coming, and he walked right fucking by me. Yeah, he was my girlfriend was talking to him because I could see her body language from 20 feet away, and she was just like enamored. She had bright red hair back then, her her dyed hair, and I think Albert was right outside too. It was like a big day. It was like a Friday night, and this downtown was open longer because the fucking Beach Boys were there. And yeah, I didn't know they were coming, and I didn't know that was Mike Love. And Mike Love went down I don't know where he was going, but he walked in. City Hall is that way, but he was walking down J Street, probably to go get a pizza or something. It was awesome. And we went home. We watched Endless Endless Harmony on the fucking VHS. They walked right by me and shit. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Because, you know, I was upstairs. I had a piano up on my second floor. I'll throw the keys down, you ring the bell type of apartment. We had carried a piano up there. My neighbors hated me, and I'd be playing that piano all night like Jerry Lee Lewis, standing on the motherfucker like Little Richard, you know? And I was just absorbing Beach Boys in my 20s, you know. But I wonder what happened to Chris. My friend Chris, he reminds me of Brian Wilson. You know, he just has that. He had that certain son that reminded me of him. He was a good guy.